Sir. Thank you. I'm here to introduce all of these guys. Joe Matusow, and this is George here, and Joe. Job is a master storyteller, and he's got his friend Billie Holladay right here to help him out. So, I think they're going to do some songs as well. I don't know, but we're definitely in for a treat.
Well, thank you. We have a program, it's called Magic Mouse. Magic Mouse is a strange little character, which you'll hear about in a moment. And used to be a series of bedtime stories on National Public Radio across the country. And Magic Mouse was born in a federal penitentiary in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania on Christmas morning, 1956. Mouse has a beautiful history because on this morning, or in the evening, Christmas Eve, 1956, someone had stolen the warden's Christmas tree from in front of his house. Not the one in his living room, but the one on the front lawn. And by some miracle, the tree ended up inside the walls of the penitentiary. And on Christmas morning, the tree got cut up into 1,200 pieces. And every man doing time at the penitentiary got a piece of the warden's tree. And it released a lot of tension and perhaps stopped a prison riot that might have occurred that day. There was that much stress in the joint. And when the warden found out that his tree had gotten inside the wall and sent his people out to find out how did the tree get in, the only answer he got was that a magic mouse had brought it in. And that's where the mouse entered my consciousness. Born on Christ's birthday in a very tense situation and relieved the tension in that place. And then shortly thereafter, I start writing Magic Mouse stories. And I did 5 years in the federal penitentiary because of McCarthyism. I was a political prisoner, so I didn't mind being there. It was a lot of fun, actually. You know, because I didn't carry any heaviness over it. I painted a couple hundred canvases, wrote 2 volumes of poetry, things I wouldn't have done if I were on the street having to do a 9-to-5 job. So it was kind of like going to college for me. And Magic Mouse was born there. And now, Magic Mouse are not children's stories, by the way. They're for you. They're more for adults. You see, it all started a long, long time ago. It was in a faraway place, close to the hearts of those knowing love. And there was a village called Angelville. If you were going too fast or happened to sneeze, you wouldn't see it. Angelville was just a tiny speck of a place, a desert oasis, with simple wooden and adobe houses and dirt roads. But the light which shone from Angelville was so strong, it could be seen as far away as the farthest star. And the light was like the sparkle tips of the heavens. Then one day, from that faraway place, there came a cry for help from all of the children of Angelville, who looked up into the heavens and said to this tiny glob of beautiful, gentle energy, "Please, whoever you are, whatever you are, will you come to our village? Will you come and share your love with us?" "Well, of course I'll come. What should I look like? Should I look like you or who?" "We don't know," the children said. "It doesn't make any difference. Just come." "All right then. I know. I'll come as a large, gigantic bird-like creature. So large as to frighten all beings into doing what I want. Just so that your wish may be." "Oh no," they said. You can't be big and large and mean and violent. You must be loving and caring. Don't be big and mean. Be small. Be so small that no one will ever see you. They'll only feel you. Be a mouse. Be a magic mouse." And in a fraction of a second, in the twinkling of an eye, Magic Mouse arrived in Angelville and moved into the treehouse in Mother Amal's garden, where the children had graciously invited it to live. Now this treehouse was situated in the branches of Peter Oak Tree, the justice of the trees. Angelville was a strange community of sorts. Well, here Mouse moved in, and the children said, but you're so small, we can't see you. How can we see you?" And Mouse says, "It makes no difference. You'll feel me." Well, all right, but Are you going to stay? Are you going to be with us? And Mouse said yes. Well, the children were so excited that Magic Mouse moved into the treehouse. They rushed over to Mother Amal and said, can we have a party to celebrate the arrival of Magic Mouse? But Mother Amal looked at the clock and said, I'm afraid it's too late. Have your party tomorrow. But it's not every day a Magic Mouse comes to live in our house. Can we have our party now, this very second? But Mother Amal was adamant. She was firm. She would not give in. She said, wait till tomorrow morning. Hi there, come on in. Hey, we got some new friends that just came. Well, Mother Amal said you can't have your party now, and Magic Mouse said, but what if I can get time to stop? If I were to get time to stop, then all of the clocks in Angelville would stop, and no one would have to go to bed until they were tired. Don't be silly, said Mother Amal. You cannot stop time. We've kept time by the quarters of the moon, the blooming of the flowers, the coming of the birds, the movement of tides, but you cannot stop time. Mouse says, I believe I can, and at that very instant, Father Time came walking up to the garden gate. Excuse me, Mouse, open the gate, let me through, I'm in a hurry, I must be on my way. I'm sorry, Time, but we cannot give you right of way nor passage this day, unless you agree to stop and rest and stay. Don't be silly, Time cannot stop, Time will never stop, Time has never stopped, Time must move on and on. There's a wake-up time and breakfast time and school time and work time and lunch time and come home from school and come home from work and dinner time and bath time and bed time and time for this and time for that and time for this and time for that. I cannot stop, I must move on and on and on and on and on and on. I can teach you, said Magic Mouse. You can teach me? Well, how do I stop? Simply stop. And Father Time stopped. He sat in a chair, his eyes closed, and he fell asleep. And the time stop party began. And the Fuzzy Strokers marching make-believe herb band came in, playing the most exquisite music. And the Flies of Angelville all sang Beethoven and Mozart piano concertos. They came in carrying a large piano to give shade to the herbs and the Fuzzy Strokers marching make-believe herb band. And the children were so happy their time stop party had started, and they rushed over to Mouse. Mouse, teach us a game, teach us a game. And Mouse, well, okay, when you rushed about before to tell the people I was here, what did you do? Well, we shouted, Magic Mouse is here, our troubles are over. Magic Mouse is here, our troubles are over. I said, Mouse, no need to shout, for a truth whispered will carry on the wind until the whole world hears it. Besides, when you shout, people will look at you and say, go away, go away. But when you whisper, they'll say, come closer, come closer. What did you say? And did you know that when you whispered, you had to smile? Try to whisper without a smile. Come on, try it. Whisper without a smile. Can you do it? Nah, you see, you have to whisper when you smile. So when you whisper and smile, people will say, come closer, come closer. But when you shout, they'll say, go away. Well, the children loved the game of whispers and smiles, and they said, can you teach us another game? And Mouse said, well, who among you has ever been angry? And they all raised their hand. Well, Mouse says, the next time you're angry, do what I do. Simply go into the garden and sit in silence for 1 hour with one flower, and all your anger will lose its power. Well, the flower said, why should we take all the anger? Sit in silence for an hour with a tree and let your anger be free. And the tree said, sit in silence for an hour with a friend and let your anger end. And young Albertina Cuddlewick, the youngest and bravest of Mother Amal's children, came in and said, sit in silence for an hour with an ant. I bet you can't. And the children loved the game of whispers, and they loved the game of sitting in silence for an hour with a flower. And then they said, Mouse, can you teach us one more game? And Mouse said, all right. What did you all do when you got up this morning? Did you watch cartoons when you got up this morning? Well, that's good, but most of the children said we want to watch the cartoons on telly. And Mouse said, I don't do that. When I get up, I say, I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me. I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity. Well, if you don't watch TV, what can you do? And Mouse said, well, I'll go out and find a rock and beat the ground and listen to its beautiful sound. I'll fold some paper and make a boat and wait for the rain and watch it float. I'll climb a tree, it's my rocket ship, and I'll close my eyes and I'll take a trip because I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me. I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity. And the children loved the game, but by this time they were all getting tired. And one by one, they fell asleep. And when the last of the children were tucked in their bed, Magic Mouse went over to Father Time, tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Time, Time, it's time to get up." And Father Time opened his eyes, and as if by magic, they were sitting in a room filled with time. And upon the wall was a clock set to every minute and every hour and every second that there has ever been and that there will ever be. "It's beautiful," said Father Time, "but pray tell, dear Magic Mouse, what is it?" "This is a room of time for you, Father Time, or anyone who's ever nervous or anxious about being late or early. When you are that way, simply come into this room, gaze upon the wall, pick the clock which has your time, and be there." "Thank you," said Father Time as he walked down the garden. "Thank you, dear Mouse, for teaching me that time is only a product of my anxious mind." And that's our first story. Let's have a little music now. Everything was well in Angelville, and people were getting used to having a magic mouse there. The mayor of Angelville, by the way, was a tinker and a con man named Findhorn McDiva. He'd been traveling about in a tinker's wagon with an invisible leprechaun friend of his named Really, and they arrived in Angelville and discovered that there was no mayor of Angelville. So Mayor McDiva taught the flowers to speak, as could you and I, and he convinced them to vote for him for mayor. So the Flowers elected Mayor Finton McDiva, the mayor of Angelville, and he was a very strange mayor indeed. Well, on this day, Mayor McDiva called the official committee to order. There was an official committee that would meet officially on official business to discuss official reports of official behavior, acting in an official way. The official committee was officially responsible for being officially there, but nothing else. And on this day, they decided to hire a lawyer. So the official committee adopted an official resolution to officially invite Lawyer Larry to come to Angelville and be the lawyer. And he said, well, how much will I get paid? And they said, well, we'll pay you a penny for every client you see. A penny, is that all? Well, that's all you need in Angelville. Well, Lawyer Larry was thinking about it when he heard that nearby on the shores of the Sanctuary Sea, where all the endangered species of the planet Earth live, there was a great animal teacher of all animals. This animal teacher of all animals had steadfastly refused to ever allow a human being to sit at his feet. He felt that humans were too cruel to animals and had been too unloving and caring, and he only wanted to teach animals. But Lawyer Larry went over to Magic Mouse and said, please, I'm not one who's been cruel to animals. May I go and meet this great teacher on the shores of the Sanctuary Sea, where live all the endangered species of the planet? Well, I will take you there, but if he asks you to leave, you must do so. Agreed, said Lawyer Larry. So Magic Mouse took Lawyer Larry to the shores of the Sanctuary Sea, where sitting was his teacher of animals with all of the animals around him. This animal was a 6-foot bunny rabbit named Baba Rabbit Guru. Now, Baba Rabbit Guru had a way with animals. And when he saw Lawyer Larry, he said, what are you, a human being, doing at my teaching? But I'm not cruel to animals. I would like to be here to learn what you have and the wisdom that you have. Well, I'm afraid I cannot do it. Please give me a chance. Very well, said Baba Rabbit Guru. I will ask you a question. If you can answer my question, you may stay. But if you do not answer my question, you must agree to leave. Agreed, said Lawyer Larry. And Baba Rabbit Guru looked at Lawyer Larry and said, 2 men cleaned a chimney. One man came out with a dirty face, the other man a clean face. Which man washed his face? Well, of course, the man with the dirty face. No, you don't understand, said Baba Rabbit Guru. The man with the clean face looked at his friend with the dirty face and said, oh, my face must be as dirty as his. And the man with the dirty face looked at the man with the clean face and said, oh, what a blessing, my face is clean today. Oh, I see, said Lawyer Larry, I see. Please, one more question. Very well. 2 men cleaned the chimney. One man came out with a dirty face, the other a clean face. Which man washed his face? Well, you just told me the man with the clean face. No, you don't understand, said Baba Rabbit Guru. The man with the clean face looked at his friend with the dirty face and said, your face is filthy, go and wash. But yours is clean, how did that happen? It's the way of the Lord, go and wash. Oh, I see, said Lawyer Larry, a little confused. But where I come from, 3 strikes and you're out. May I have one more question? Oh, very well, said Baba Rabbit Guru. 2 men cleaned the chimney. One man came out with a dirty face, and the other man a clean face. Which man washed his face? I give up, I'll leave, but tell me, which man washed his face? How can 2 men clean a chimney, and one come out with a dirty face, and the other a clean face? A little music now.
Like cheap gambling Bob. He did everything shooting dice. He's in the jailhouse now. I went out last Tuesday. I met a gal named Susie. Told her that I was the swingers man around. I found out drugs, had us a whole bunch of trouble. Ended up in the jailhouse way downtown. We're in the jailhouse now. We're in the jailhouse now. They told us once or twice, I quit the playing cards and shooting dice. We're in the jailhouse now. Oh lady, oh lady, oh lady.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, back in Angelville, strange things were happening. Little Albertina Cuddle came running in to Mother Amal's morning stew pot where the children were having breakfast, and she was so excited she was speaking upside down and backwards. And nobody could understand what she was saying until Professor Quizzy, the school principal, stood on his head, and immediately he stood on his head, Albertina Cuddlewick made sense. And she had said that she had just heard from the Emerald Twinkler, the guardian to the path to the center of everything, that a large, gigantic red dragon had entered the path to the center of everything and was entering Angelville. People started to panic. A large red dragon coming to Angelville. And young Albertina Cuddlewick, who had no fear, ran out, and when the dragon appeared, she said, "Stop! Who are you and what are you doing here?" And he said, "My name is Sir Gawain Dragon. I am searching for the Holy Grail and have run out of money and need a job awfully bad." "You need a job?" said Albertina. She went over to Magic Mouse and said, "He needs a job. What job can we give him?" Well, Magic Mouse said, "We can make him the school crossing guard, because if he were to lie across the road, nobody would dare drive a car through him." And they agreed. And Sir Gawain Dragon took up his position in front of the school and said, "Today I would like to tell you the story of the first ever human being to sit on the back of an elephant. It was so far back in time that not a man or a woman, not a girl or a boy had ever sat on the back of an elephant. And it was in a faraway kingdom called Over There. And Over There was the most violent kingdom on the planet Earth. People screamed at one another, they shouted at one another, they hit one another. There was no peace, it was violence and more violence. All but one man, who never screamed, he never shouted. He sat in the corner of a village square, weaving a beautiful cloth. And nobody thought him worthy enough to have a name. In fact, when they were angry, they'd say, "Who can I hit?" They'd say, "Hit him, he won't hit your back. Scream at him, he won't scream back." And soon everybody in Over There started calling our friend him. Then one day, after many years of people screaming at him and shouting at him turned and said, "Dear Lord, can the shouting and screaming ever stop?" "Yes, it can," said the Lord. "But you must go out into the jungle and there find a stick. And then with your stick, crawl up behind an elephant and hit the elephant a mighty blow. Your problem will be solved." But I don't want to do that. It would mean being violent." "Do as I say," said the Lord. And him obeyed. He went out into the jungle and found the stick, crawled up quietly behind an elephant, raised his stick and was about to strike the elephant when the elephant turned its giant head and said, "Excuse me, sir, but if you strike me with that stick, I shall step on you and you will be no more." "But I just wanted the violence and the shouting and screaming to stop." "And if I stepped on you when you were no more, it would stop, would it not?" "But not that way, I just wanted to stop for all the people." "I cannot help you," said the elephant, "but I too have had a dream that one day a man or a woman, a boy or a girl, would come to me and say, 'Elephant, May we be friends?" "Is that all you require?" said him. "I will happily and gladly be your friend." And him and the elephant became friends. And the elephant reached down with its giant trunk, lifted him up high in the air, and put him on his back. And then they paraded into the village in the kingdom of over there, where people were screaming and shouting and being violent. But when they saw him on the elephant's back, they said, How did you conquer that elephant? Did you hit it with a stick?" "No," said him. "I loved the elephant, and we became friends. And if you could learn to love instead of hate, and be gentle instead of violence, you too could have an elephant for a friend." Then one by one, the people of over there stopped screaming and stopped shouting and stopped being violent. And when they did, an elephant came from the jungle and said, "I will be your friend." And soon everyone over there had an elephant for a friend. Music. Joyful experience with this young man. Has anybody got a cigarette lighter here? May I borrow it for a moment, please? This is a special treat we have for children. Adults may not participate. They're too old to appreciate the fun. These are my magic glasses. Now, can you close your eyes and put the glasses on? Keep your eyes closed and look out, keep closed. You may not tell what you see. Is it beautiful? Huh? Is it beautiful? Did you ever see anything like it before? Look up there. Oh, look up there. Wow, huh? Is some? All right. But you can't tell anybody what you see. Any other children here want the magic glasses? Are they all gone? Come on, you come up. You, yeah. These are special magic mouse glasses. Now you gotta close your eyes and put them on. Oh, close the glasses. Keep your eyes closed. Eyes closed. Now when I say open them, open them. You promise not to tell what you see, right? Open your eyes. Ooh. Wow. All right. Sorry, adults are too old for these glasses. No other children? Okay. Did you ever see a bamboo Jews harp, anybody? This is from Cambodia. A lot of toys. I want to tell you another story. You gotta remember to turn the light on. Well, Magic Mouse got up this morning and received a message from back in time. Mouse's old friend, the dinosaur, Tyrannosaurus Rex, who had lived 30 million years ago, had sent word to Magic Mouse that he wanted to come back and be among the living and live in Angelville with Mouse and the children. But Mouse said, I'm afraid you've been too violent in your life, and we don't have violence here, and if you come, we will have to make some accommodation for your violent temper. Well, what do you suggest? Well, we could change you from Tyrannosaurus Rex into the world's only living grape bush tree, where we will plant you in the ground. You will look like Tyrannosaurus Rex, you will sound like Tyrannosaurus Rex, but your tree feet will be planted in the ground, so when you lose your temper, you cannot step on things and hurt people. He said, I agree, and in a fraction of a second, the deed was done. And there was this giant grape bush that looked like Tyrannosaurus Rex, talked like Tyrannosaurus Rex, and Mouse made him its friend and butler. And the children were excited. They had this thing, and Mouse brought in the green pretzel snake, which would climb up the tree and cut grapes down and bring them to the children. And it was marvelous. People had fresh grapes every day. The dinosaur was non-violent, and all was well, when suddenly there was a rustling in Peter Oak Tree, and the wind started blowing, and they found out that the violent biker winds, the tornado winds of the universe, had captured Gentle Wind. Gentle Wind, the one wind in the universe that had refused to be violent. She was now a prisoner of the biker winds, the violent tornado winds. And Mouse said, well, can we have her back? And before they knew what happened, they got Gentle Wind back, and she was hiding in the branches of Peter Oak Tree. And the violent tornado wind said, unless you turn Gentle Wind over to us, because she refuses to be violent, we will blockade Angelville, and we will prevent any clouds with rain from coming. So there was Gentle Wind protected by Magic Mouse and the children, but they were told that the flowers would die because they would not have water. What could they do? Well, Magic Mouse said, let's get our friend the dot maker in the sky. He's the one who makes all the rainbows, and he will make a rainbow roller coaster. And we will have the clouds pushed onto the rainbow roller coaster high above the biker winds, and they will come in and bring rain. And that's what happened. And the violent tornado winds could not win out over gentleness and peace and nonviolence. And Tyrannosaurus Grape was happy. He started to tell stories of his own. And it was just a fun place. And suddenly there came upon the scene a young girl who had fallen through the tunnel to the path to the center of everything. And her name was Maria. And she only walked backwards. She refused to walk frontwards because she was afraid of seeing what was in front of her, but was comfortable in what had passed. And she refused under all conditions to ever walk forward. And Magic Mouse said, well, is there anything we can do? And she said, no, I refuse to walk forward because it gives me pain and anxiety. But if I walk backwards, I have peace and all the gentle things that I've seen, and I don't have to confront newness, because newness is trouble, she said. Well, Magic Mouse said, did you ever ride on a merry-go-round? And she said, I love the merry-go-round, but I have to ride backwards. All right, said Magic Mouse. So they set Maria on the merry-go-round horse, seated backwards. And she was prepared to ride backwards, but Magic Mouse changed the gear ratio, and instead of going frontwards, the merry-go-round started to turn backwards. So here was Maria, for the first time in her life, seeing where she's going, and not where she's been, even though she was sitting backwards on the merry-go-round horse. And she realized her fear was unnecessary, and she changed her way, and from that day forth, Maria was able to face life with love. How about some music?
Thank you.
Well, we're going to do another story, and then our time will be out. Another story and a song. Well, Magic Mouse was very happy to be there with the children, and then on this day, they had all gathered at Granny Mabel's stew pot, where they had their breakfast and their lunch and their dinner, where they enjoyed the thrills of being at one with everything. And well, what I'd like to do for the ending, I'd like to do the end. Somebody name a subject, and we're going to make up a story and ad-lib it right now.
Ghost.
Huh?
Ghost.
I can't hear.
Ghost. Ghost.
I can't hear.
Ghost.
Goat?
Ghost.
Ghosts? Well, in Angelville, he wants a story about a ghost. There are a lot of ghosts in Angelville. They are the friendliest ghosts in the universe. They don't go around and scare people. They go around and comfort people. They come when people are sad, and they do funny things. They play jokes on them. They do the most marvelous thing. For example, you wake up in the morning and you're feeling depressed, and suddenly you're being tickled on the bottom of your feet, and you don't know who's done it. And you start to laugh, and you realize it's the tickling ghost that does that to you. And then there are ghosts for every occasion, you know. There's a ghost that hangs out with the food that you don't like and takes it away so you don't have to tell your mother you didn't eat it. And then there's another ghost that brings in the food that you do like when your mother's not looking, because it's usually candy bars, and mom won't like that. And these ghosts are very strange. They accommodate the children without fear. They teach them to go to another dimension and not be afraid of spirit and things of another universe. I mean, that's why ghosts are here, to teach us. But usually, Mouse said, we're too frightened to listen to the truth of the spirits who hang around with us. So we get frightened and we run and hide. And the children learn from Mouse that one need never run or hide, because there are all sorts of people. Like there's the invisible leprechaun, really, who taught the flowers to speak. Imagine the flowers had never spoken a word until this invisible leprechaun, a ghost-like character, taught them to speak words. And they have the thing called the McDavis switchboard, and they work through the switchboard, and they get on their little cellular phones, and all the messages come, and this is how they communicate with the ghosts of Angelville. I know it's not a story, but I just made that one up for you. Because ghosts don't frighten, they're lovers. So we're going to have one more song, and then we have to terminate our program so the next group can get in. And what are we going to end with?
I'm a dreamer. Hard wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a dreamer on the own, just a dreamer on the own. In my dreams each night it seems my sweetheart comes to call. She's so charming, that's not all.
Well, thank you all very much. You've been a great audience. And now you've met Magic Mouse, and we appreciate you. We've got to prepare for the next group.